I think it's ordained for us to be able to work a dog, and I love it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a godly thing. K9 experience came about to be the beginning of bringing order to chaos. I just felt like that the true essence of personal protection was being lost in dog sports. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to bring a new or an old school flavor back to protection dogs. And so I started training dogs on my own. But I hadn't officially started K9 Experience on paper. It's only been about 10 or 11 years. I met Calvin when he was 13 years old. He came to me and he wanted to work with dogs, and I wasn't keen on having a 13-year-old get bit by dogs. So what I did was I sent him home on his way. His cousin brought him out to meet me. We had a nice time, we talked, and I loved him. I loved his passion. He came back again when he was 15, and then again when he was 16. And when he was around 18, he came around when I was sick with cancer. And he learned enough to help keep my business afloat. And I'm indebted to him for it, and I love him for it. And he's almost son-like. He's just a real good spirit and a humble person.
When I first got here, I was probably, I had to be 19. Yeah, I had to be 19. It was 2013. Started here. I was showing up every Saturday. That's the only days that Cecil trained out here. I started here, not even just basically learning, just looking, learning, and Cecil was just trying to figure out if I was gonna stick around. And Saturdays was going by, and I was coming. And finally one day he asked me, did I want to jump in the bite suit? So of course I'm not gonna say no. Purpose of a personal protection dog, man, is that dog that can serve as a companion first, but also do the things that you as a human cannot do. That dog that you have that is a personal protection dog is a dog that don't understand that any harm can come to him. Okay, if you have a personal protection dog, you most likely want to make sure that it is very clear-headed. Therefore, that the dog understands the scenario versus just being an aggressive dog. It's not necessarily aggression. It's basically acting. So just because a dog don't understand what human feelings are, we're able to teach them that, hey, if in this situation, I want you to display it this way, right? So I teach the dog how to bark, bark at an object or bark at food, bark at myself, And then as far as the biting go, I teach the dog to play with equipment, and that's all it is actually playing. The dog thinks that he's playing. So if I can teach a dog to bark, and I can teach a dog to bite on command, and no matter if it's a toy or a person with a suit on, then I can teach the dog to actually do it within a scenario.
Rarely does a protection dog actually have to bite a person. That's very rare. It's usually dogs that are not trained that usually bite people. If you take in consideration, let's say, martial arts or mixed martial arts, the times that those type of individuals actually would have to use that against a person is very low, right? Because they're confident in being able to deal with those situations. The best way to win a fight is not to have to get in one.
Dogs are companions. So people that have these dogs that perform these tasks also have a companion at the end of the day. So a lot of lonely people, a lot of people that have, extreme, really intensive jobs and stuff like that, their dog is able to be at the house at the end of the day and serve them a purpose of comfort. And then, it's just a plus that the dog is somewhat what I call a superhero that can do anything.
Over years, through trial and error, I've developed my own system that I'm comfortable with. I can convey that to people, not just for the time that I'm in front of them, but for a time that when we're extended family, we're away from each other. So I give them things that they can, tangible things that they feel like that they can take with them and learn from and grow.
What I'd like an everyday person to know about canines is that outside of being our friendly neighborhood pets, outside of being a law enforcement narcotic dog or a executive protection dog, that these dogs all have love to give, and they're more willing to work for you the more that they love you. And so if you can use their love as a catalyst for work, you got something special there. Oh man, it means so much to me. Can you imagine a world where you wake up and go to a job and you're happy to be there? My grandpa once said, a good dog is better than a bad woman. And if I can wake up to a good dog every day, man, I'm in tall cotton.
It's most definitely something that's addicting, but it's extremely hard. And as long as you want to, push forward and you got the motivation to do something, you can most definitely do it through your passion. But you got to, always have an open mind and to wanting to move forward.